For the longest time, I really didn't think that I would be the kind of person making this video. We put a lot of effort, a lot of time, a lot of money into making a very safe game store, 1 minute away from a police department, 18 4K Ultra HD cameras. We're next to the US bankruptcy court, so we have complete camera footage of the entire parking spaces or parking lot in front of the store. And so I thought we were safe. I thought anyone who would come and try to rob the store would immediately see all of these cameras, the alarm, the motion detection, everything, and just say, nah, this isn't going to work for us. Unfortunately, we got hit by professionals. And not only did they hit us, they're on a crime spree. And the day before we got robbed, there was a WFAA article or video about a business in Fort Worth that was robbed by the exact same people, except this time it was 3 of them instead of 4. My head hurts. I think I was all pumped up with adrenaline and I wanted to get these guys. Unfortunately, the police came a couple minutes too late. They had just left. They robbed us in under a minute. They knew what they were doing. They knew how long the response time would take, and they were in and out like bandits. They came out really fast. Obviously, it could have been worse if any customers or employees were in there. It would have been a really terrible situation, right? But we got hit. I got robbed. I feel violated. I feel angry. I feel depressed in a way. To watch them come and do that after all the effort that we put into the shop, and especially at a time in which we're kind of struggling, where the market is getting soft and our margins are very thin, and any loss is hard for us to bear with. They broke our door, they broke our security system, the main console. They took a binder or 2 binders. They grabbed an unknown item from our warehouse, a big bag of something. So we still don't know what was actually in there. So we're going to have to do inventory and see what was in that bag. And they took our cash box. Like I said, it could have been worse. But yeah, I, after like 2 hours, I just randomly felt like tears were coming. And I was just really taken aback by the aggressiveness of it all. I have footage. We have a bunch of camera images, videos, etc., etc. But I don't know if it's appropriate to post that on YouTube yet. We'll probably post that later on if everything's good to go and these guys are caught and the police are okay with it and everything. I've posted imagery online just in case they go to a different business. I think they're literally just robbing stores as they travel through Texas. They were in Fort Worth and now they're in Plano and they robbed us. I'm very happy that our manager wasn't in. It was at 1:36 a.m. The individuals were, there were 3 individuals. One was incredibly muscular and fit, and the other 2 were really skinny. One was African American, and we couldn't really make out the ethnicity of the other 2 guys. It seems that they're already wanted and that they're already doing this, and which is unfortunate. I think if it were someone who was targeting the store specifically, it would be easier for us to catch this person because, it's targeted. So it makes it a little bit easier to find that person. But in this case, it was just a traveling group of bandits, I guess. Like I said, the margins have been really bad, and the store is struggling financially right now. We've had employees that we thought weren't going to leave, and then this happens, and now our employee in Korea has COVID, so we're having to close this store and the American store while we get this investigation done, and while that employee is recovering from COVID. The financial burden of this is very, very big, and the door being broken, which is going to cost $3,000 or $4,000 to fix because they broke the foundation above the door. We don't have coverage for that, so we're probably going to have to pay out of pocket for that. And that's just a very hard thing for us to try to rock right now. The items stolen, I'm assuming the amount stolen is going to be around $3,000 or $4,000. It depends on which binders were taken. But if it were a higher end binder, then that could actually be even more. And this isn't binders that we let anyone touch. They went behind and they grabbed shit and they moved shit around, they broke shit. And we're going to have to replace the display. We're going to have to replace the door. We're going to have to replace the security console. And we're going to have to improve the security, even though we've done, I think, everything humanly possible. We have armed security guards. We have a car that comes at night to do patrols. There's a lot of things that we took very careful steps towards making a very safe game store. All the cameras, which is actually pretty good. We got some really good footage of these guys. But it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. They came in, they came out, and the police were just a little bit late, and we weren't able to catch them. And now they're God knows where. I'm assuming they've probably crossed state lines at this point. Might be in Oklahoma or something. Um, I hate to say it. This is one of those things that pushes me towards closing the business. We might do a GoFundMe or something like that because realistically, like I said, we've placed orders for upcoming product. There are things that we placed orders for where the money has been spent and the product hasn't been received. We're not in a very strong cash position right now. In fact, we're probably in the weakest position we've been in a long time, and we just lost some of our longer staff, so we've had to hire more staff, and they're getting onboarded and trained. But that has hurt sales too because they don't know how to sell as well as someone who's been there for a long time. And yeah, it is a shame. I'm so angry and I feel physically sick. And I talked about it on the Discord. I guess I feel like there's nothing else I can do but just yell out and say, I got robbed. We got robbed. My brother went to the store to secure it with the police and talked to them. And Michael, our manager, actually went there as well and tried to secure the door and everything. I'm very happy that no one got hurt. That's a really big important thing. Even if the business dies because of this, like I said, what depends on what was stolen. If it's a big enough loss, unfortunately, insurance doesn't cover magic product well. Cards are not worth their market price when it comes to insurance, so we're not getting any coverage on that at all. If what you lose is what you lose, and we get no payout for it. So I was driving. I'm in Korea. My SIM card was switched to my Korean SIM, so I didn't get the calls from Ring. I didn't get the calls from whatever the other. We used two other ones, Reolink and then whatever, other systems, and I couldn't get the calls because I was over on my Korean SIM. Finally, I get a notification from Ring saying your alarm is ringing, and I thought it was an employee that I tried to walk in, but then I looked at the time and thought that wouldn't be possible. It's like 2 a.m. I don't think anyone would be working that late right now. And I look at the cameras, and lo and behold, the front of the counter is completely messed up and broken. And then I look at the footage, and I'm like, holy shit, we got hit. Not only did we get hit, I've seen other stores get hit, and it's like an amateur kind of fucking thing. This was a professional, lights and crowbars, bats, guns in the waist, a professional hit under 1 minute. There's little you can do to stop those kind of people, right? And if police had come in time, God knows it could have been a shootout. Would have not been a pretty situation. So I guess this is probably the best way for it to have happened. I don't know what this next step forward is. Getting robbed. I've always been the kind of guy who I'm armed whenever I'm in Texas. I'm always watching the CCTV. We take every step to make sure that theft doesn't work against us. And to have it happen and not be able to catch these guys, not be able to feel safe because they're still out there, it is an awful feeling. It's a violating, awful feeling. So that's that. Now we're going to work with the PD. We're sending all the footage over, and hopefully it actually leads to some sort of arrest against these 3 individuals. I think 4 individuals if you look at the previous crime they did in Fort Worth. And we have their car, the way their car looks. I'm sure it's like a rented or stolen car for sure. I'm assuming, unless they're really, really freaking stupid. But yeah, man, we got robbed. We got robbed, and at the worst time. At the worst time possible. We might start a GoFundMe because I typically wouldn't ever do that. But in this case scenario, we have bills due. We have things that we have to pay. And I know that the landlord is going to want us to pay to fix everything that was broken. When they crowed the door out, you could literally see shit falling from the. I mean, I'm not there, so I can't examine it myself. We have someone coming in the morning to examine the full damage. I'm assuming something else, a couple of other things were broken. Like I said, the display is broken, the security system's broken. I'm surprised that they didn't take any iPads or laptops. They didn't take any of that. I'm assuming because there's tracking software. So they're pretty smart guys, man. They came in, only went for the cash box. They grabbed a couple of other things right before they ran out, went into the back, grabbed a big bag of something. They didn't even know what was in there. They just grabbed the bag, And luckily they didn't grab some of the crazier stuff, because if they had grabbed cases of collectors or whatever, I think we would have probably closed the business, and because that's not a loss that we can handle. I don't think we would have closed immediately, but we would have had to liquidate a lot of stuff and just say, well, we've lost. If they were to grab a bunch of cases, it would have been like 10 plus grand or something, right? So we're going to move all of our product from the store. We're going to be a lot more cautious going forward, and even if someone attempts to rob us again, we're going to make sure that it leads to nothing. Um, Man, this is what you get for trying to start a community game store, and yeah, it's been really stressful, guys. It's been really freaking stressful. Oh, not much else I can say. I love all of you guys. Thank you for being a part of this journey. This isn't a video that I ever thought I'd have to make, that's for sure. But here we are. Here we are. So I don't know what time it's there. It's probably like 7 or 8 a.m. in America. I'm going to upload this as soon as I can, because our store is going to be closed, and I want people to know that the store is closed, at least for tomorrow, while we get our grip on things. And we'll figure out the next steps and announce it. The RCQ that we were going to be hosting is canceled. Some of the other events that we were going to be hosting are canceled while we get things figured out. And that's that. If there is a GoFundMe, I'll post it online. And if you can donate, whatever. I really did not want this to happen right now. It's really bad timing. Really bad timing. I'll see you guys next time. Alan from MrMTG.com. Bye bye.